Welcome back to Dickin' Around Outdoors. We've got a blisteringly hot day here in Chicago, so I've got the rocket loaded with a PBR for this video. If you've watched my channel, you know that I do a lot of cooking outdoors, camp cooking, Dutch oven, that type of thing. But something caught my eye this week on YouTube. Some of my favorite channels are guys that do some cooking, and they're participating in a challenge, I guess you call it, from the Dude's Kitchen. And it is called Twisted Burger. So check it out, hashtag Twisted Burger. And it's guys whipping up, and gals, whipping up some different types of burgers. So we're gonna take a stab at a burger just because I thought it sounded like fun that we've never tried before. We're gonna cook it outside. We're gonna utilize the grill and a Dutch oven. And since we're in Chicago, and part of this challenge is that you should use either ingredients or something that sort of talks about where you're from, we are gonna do a deep dish Chicago bacon cheeseburger in a Dutch oven. So stick around, let's get this thing going. We've got the charcoal lit, as I'm sure you can see. And once this gets going, we'll get the burgers on and we'll show you how we're gonna cook it. Our charcoal's ready. We're just gonna throw it into the grill. Try to avoid dumping any hot ashes on my feet while I do it. Our first order of business, we're gonna toss these burgers on, and all we want to do is get a sear on them. We're not gonna cook them all the way. And as you can see, they're pretty big and they're flat. Each one of these is a ½ pound. Now normally I'm a quarter pound burger guy, so this is a lot of meat, but you'll see why we're doing this. And again, quick sear, that's all we want. And this is 90% lean. Again, not my first choice in a burger, but for what we're doing today, we don't want a lot of fat. So let's get these on the grill. Get that quick sear going. Hello, Linda. These burgers are right where we want them. You can see there's a little bit of juice and blood still coming out. We don't want them done because they are going to cook separately, so we're just going to set these aside for the moment. And not wanting to waste our charcoal, we're going to go ahead and move this from the grill over to the Dutch oven table, start the Dutch oven heating up while we get the rest of the dish prepared. On to the next step. We have made a deep dish pizza dough. There's no magic about this. It's right off of the Giordano's website. And we're going to cook this today inside the Dutch oven, but we're going to use an 8-inch deep Banks fry bake pan. So our other ingredients are bacon, cheddar cheese, American cheese, a burger sauce that I whipped up earlier, which is a standard mayo, ketchup, mustard, pickles, dill pickles, onions, and of course our patties, and an extra crust for the top. So first thing we're going to do is we're going to put a bit of this burger sauce on the lower crust. And I'm doing that because I want the mayonnaise, if possible, I don't know if this is going to work, but I hope it does, just to seal that crust a little bit. So if there's any grease or water that comes off those burgers, it doesn't make the bottom crust soggy. So we're going to do that first. Just put a little around there. Then, in order to keep as much moisture out, we're just going to dab the burger off, get the juice off, and we're going to throw the first layer down. I'm going to flip it so that we can get the grease off the other side. And on top of that, we are going to put our American cheese, our Kraft singles. And I tried to get the burger, as you can see, as best I can, the right size to fit around the whole bottom, but that was a bit of a hit or miss game. So we're going to do that. We're going to put a little more of our sauce on that layer. Some pickles. A few onions. And on goes the second burger. Same thing, we're going to flip it. Wipe it off a little. Layer of sauce. pickles, onions, and our magic bacon, which we cooked earlier. And then on top of this layer, we're going to put some cheddar cheese that we just shredded. Don't like to use the pre-shredded because of the anti-caking compound they put on it. And now we are just going to roll a second layer over that of crust. I'm going to kind of press it down over the burger. We're going to crimp the edges if possible. Try to make this leak-proof. And then just tear off what we don't need. Make sure we've got a crimp on that. And I'm quite sure Fanny Farmer's looks better than mine, but I'll bet you hers isn't going to taste any better than mine. I'm going to grab the edge of my spatula here, just poke a few holes in the top of this because I want to make sure that moisture can get out of there. We don't want to trap any inside. You may be able to hear we are in the flight path today for O'Hare. All right, now let's go drop this into our Dutch oven. And what we're using today is a 10-inch Lodge. I do have a trivet inside of there so that you don't have this pan sitting right in the bottom. It's been preheating. We're going to drop that in, toss on the lid, and we're going to try to cook this at about between 400 and 450. Which means we're going to throw about 18 coals on top. It's pretty hot today. I think that'll be plenty. We don't have a ton of wind. I did put the wind block on just in case. We're going to cook this for, 30 minutes, 25, 30 minutes, see how the crust develops and go from there. Our 20 minutes is up. Now I've got to tell you, I'm really curious to see what we have in here. Well, let's see. And I have rotated this every 7 minutes. Oh, I'm not quite so sure what that looks like. I think we have a bacon cheeseburger souffle, but we're going to go ahead and get this out. We're going to take this off. I should say we're just going to take this off the heat, let it cool down a bit. And then we'll see what it's going to take to get it out of the fry bake. And then we'll cut in and see what it looks like inside. But I will tell you, it baked really nicely. It's beautiful brown and it really looks quite tasty, so I'm curious. Well, we have let this cool down a bit now. Kind of contemplating how to get it out, but I think I'm just going to turn it upside down and see what I can get. It's coming right out. Well, the bottom crust didn't brown up quite as much as the top, but just remember when you're using a trivet, you do need more heat on the bottom. So let's cut into this beast and see what it looks like. And our deep dish bacon cheeseburger with a very unique bun. Let's have a look. Oh my gosh, I think that looks pretty darn tasty. So I think I'm going to have to give that a try. I'm not so sure I can get my mouth around it to eat it, but I think it came out okay. So there you have it. Deep dish Chicago bacon cheeseburger. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed this video, please take a moment to hit the subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner. As always, take care. We'll see you outdoors. And don't forget to check out the other videos on #TwistedBurgers.